I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Well, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined at my own home, 6 feet away from my gaggle of gals. We have somewhere in here, Michael Mattis.
Hi. And Bimby.
And Bimby.
Hi, Bimby.
Hi, Bimby.
And of course, we have
Hey, everyone. Chelsea Overrocker here.
And decked out in burgundy with coiffed hair, we have...
Hi, everyone. Tammy Gavea.
3 of us got the burgundy memo, and one of us did not.
Well, nobody gave me a burgundy memo to get. So not that I would have seen it. I would have seen it and been like, whatever.
Yeah, you would. Thank you guys so much for tuning in live. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. In quarantine, the @ is definitely implied. Also, if you are a lover of all soaps, make sure you check out all of our other soap opera recaps. We have Restless Wrap for Young and the Restless, and GH Report for General Hospital. And on hiatus is Bold Breakdown. So hopefully it will come back once we are all released into this Tiger King world. Also, if you guys are listening to us on the Apple Podcast, make sure you give us 5 stars, leave a comment, share, subscribe, and also tell us how much you like it and love it and want more of it. And make sure you guys stick around because we are doing yet another quarantine check. And if you've been watching our Twitter, I did a little hint and said we are going to be joined by a reunited couple and a storyteller. You want to know who those people are? Make sure you tune in. All right. Now that I got all the church announcements out of the way, what do we all think of this week's episodes of Days?
Oh my God, it was so good.
Right?
Yeah,
I loved it.
One of my favorite weeks so far.
Yeah.
Really good.
So good.
I liked it.
Yeah, I was surprised at, and even my mom texted me about this. She was like, "Oh, they really dragged out that wedding, did they?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah. They've been doing
They
that. The pacing, I feel like, with those events, if you want to call them that, has kind of slowed down a bit. They tend to be dragged out a little more.
Yeah, and there were definitely some like twists and turns that like I wasn't expecting. Twist and
Twarn.
That I wasn't expecting. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I was expecting a couple of storylines to go one way and they went in complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
So I was
I don't think I was even like thinking, but when it went that way, I was like, oh, smart. Well, let's break it all down for the kind folks who are watching us. It's now time to start Dishin Days. All right, let's
so
start
silly.
I know.
So silly.
This show gets kookier and kookier as we still remain in quarantine. All right, so let's kick things off with the major storyline with Xander, Sarah, Eric, Nicole, Brady, Kristen, with appearances by John, Malena, Will, Freddie, Will, Sonny. I definitely said Freddie. Okay, so this week, basically, everything hit the fan. The truth is out in the open. All parties involved now know that little baby Mickey is actually Rachel, who belongs to Brady and Kristen. And the ball really dropped during the wedding of Sarah and Xander. That did not happen. What did you guys think about that whole storyline and how everything unfolded?
I thought it was great. I loved Sarah. She did just the way this storyline was one of those, Tammy, where you said you thought it was go this direction, ended up going this way. Like for a minute, she was so into it. She's like, okay, let's get married. Yeah, let's do this. And even Xander's like, okay, we're going to continue this.
I knew she was like setting him up. I knew she was just like getting him to like reeling him in. And I was like, oh, she's going to make him think she's going through with it. And then I was like, during the vow, she's gonna hit him with it, and that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would.
And
I
like
love
how
it.
she
I love
did
it when
it.
they do that though, because I don't know. It's kind of like, okay, you effed with me, now I'm gonna F with you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what I couldn't believe is when Xander tried to convince her to keep the baby.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
It's like, do you not know who she is? There's no way she's gonna do that. And
I didn't think
then,
there was any way she was
and
gonna do it, but I believe that Xander was that desperate to,
yeah.
Did anyone else? The fans are gonna go in an uproar in a second. Did anyone else feel bad for Xander?
Totally.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Totally. I can say,
Yeah.
oh,
He did this horrible thing.
Totally.
And I think it's because as much as we believe his intentions are to be a good person, his intentions
Yeah.
are to be noble and not to be this curious thug. But
Yeah.
it just somehow he can't catch a break, and his intentions weren't. Even with the baby switch, his intentions were to keep Sarah from getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even
Even-
Not excusing it, but I think that's why we kind of sympathize or empathize with Xander or feel bad for him, because
It
we
wasn't
know-
malicious intent.
Mhm.
Bingo.
Yeah.
how is
Yeah.
he related to Victor? Is that a
Nephew,
uncle? So
like his brother's son, Victor's brother's son.
So it's his uncle.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why he calls him
Right.
Uncle Vic.
Yeah,
Uncle Vic.
Uncle
Well,
Vic.
That's
Sonny
right. That's right. Because he reminded me a lot of Victor.
Mhm.
Just,
Yeah.
I mean, Victor can be ruthless as well as Xander.
It was
can be
almost
ruthless.
it almost mirrored when Maggie finds out Victor does something.
Totally.
Yeah, the same kind of reactions and same kind of.
Totally. Yeah.
But
But I liked in the vows too when Xander said, I have not made good decisions, but everything I did was for you and try to protect you. And that I see with Victor and Maggie.
I
that part
literally
with it.
thought that he was going to tell her the truth himself. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I like this idea, because that way he could kind of be halfway redeemable, as if to be like, listen, what I did was bad, but I want to go into this marriage truthfully. And I was like, yes, say it. And then he didn't say it. And I was like, no, like that's,
Yeah.
and I'm surprised that Sarah didn't come in and just right away, hit him with everything. But it was interesting because when she said that their whole relationship started off with a lie, I was like, well, you're kind of not innocent in all this. I mean, in this relationship either.
Right.
And
You
she said
got some
that.
sticky yeah. So
Yeah. She said we were partners in a lie.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
think for a second, I don't know, I felt like she was upset, but she was almost
Guilty yourself.
yeah. She
Like, felt
almost
guilty yourself.
yeah. And I like that he did say he did it for her, but what I couldn't understand was why not the complete story, because no one has mentioned yet that Victor was involved. It's all been
Nobody.
Xander. No
And
one
so
has said
now-
anything about Victor.
Is he even going to mention Uncle Vic
Mhm.
to ensure he stays in good graces? Like, is he willing to go that far loyalty wise to be in Victor's good graces? Because
Yeah.
like you said, Tony, no one's mentioned Victor in all this.
No.
Yeah, I never
no-
realized that, but you're right.
Nor Maggie. Nor did he say, listen, I had you don't understand that keeping the secret was horrible, yes, but there were people that I love and care for involved, and I don't want to see them hurt. You know what I mean? Like, no one has mentioned the fact that he was also protecting Maggie
Right.
in all
And
of this too.
I don't think Sarah has put two and two together that Maggie killed Adrian and now
The baby.
the baby. I don't
Right.
think she made that connection yet.
No.
I don't think
No.
anyone's made that connection.
That whole part of it has been is kind of sitting on the side, waiting to be revealed or waiting to
Yeah.
be figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then plot twist, Sarah said, I ain't giving up this baby. I'm out. And I was like, I did not expect that at all. It wasn't until
No.
she was seen in Horton Town Square and she looked like she was like, "Oh my God, I do not want to run into anybody. I need
was-
to go." Like, she was like, "Can we just speed this up?" She's like, "Yeah, we on our way to the honeymoon. Yeah, just got some stuff for the baby. Okay, that's cute. Okay, gotta go bye." Like,
See, the reason I kind of expected, I don't want to say I expected it, but I wondered if it was going to take that turn, because anytime on any soap I've watched, whenever there's a situation where a baby and a mama, same thing happened with Lexi when everyone was finding out that Isaac was JT. She went on the run with the baby. On The Young and the Restless, when Ashley had a kid that wasn't hers, she took off with the baby. Like, that's kind of like the progression of this storyline.
yeah. But what I thought was, with all that Sarah has gone through, I think that baby Mickey was the only thing good in her life, and she doesn't want to lose that.
No,
absolutely. Yeah, because she's just going through a withdrawal where she can't accept that the real baby Mickey is dead. She's like, nope, this is my child. Yeah, denial.
Well,
I was just gonna say, I thought when Eric called Brady and Kristen and said, "Hey, is Sarah over there, or have you seen Sarah?" I thought while they were on the phone, there would be a knock on the door and Sarah would be there.
Yeah. When she was
she went shopping instead.
And she said, I'm headed on my honeymoon. Lies. I'm taking the jet. Yes, she did. She is like,
what is she thinking?
She's thinking that I want to be happy.
She's crazed right now.
She had been through a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And in the span of, I think, one day, she found out that the baby she thinks is hers and that she went through cancer with isn't hers. Her baby actually died. Then she had to go confront Xander about it. So
betrayal, huge betrayal. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So now she's just like, you know what? F this. I'm running away.
And then of course that man that she loved turned out to like fail her too, just like Rex. Like, she went through this whole thing with Rex as well. Like, her heart was broken and everything like that. Yeah. So it's kind of like the baby is the only thing that she feels like she has to probably live for. I don't know if she's on that spectrum, but like, it's pretty desperate to just decide, okay, I'm about to kidnap the baby.
Yeah.
That's something Kristen would have done.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought Kristen was going to take that baby from the hospital.
I did too. I'm glad it didn't go down.
Get to that part of it, yeah.
But then I felt bad because Marlena came in and was like, and she was like, "You have bad news." She's like, "Yeah, they don't want you a part of the program." I'm like, how you get fired from a volunteer program?
When
like
you try
that.
to kidnap,
that's how.
When you can't get back the baby.
When you don't follow the rules.
No, they're not taking her.
I was like, oh boy, all you had to do was just rock the baby to sleep and then hand it back and say, I'm available for another baby if you like.
See, I think it has everything to do with if you're about to lose it, but you've got someone there to draw you back from the edge. Like Kristen had Brady to say, no. Let's give him time. Let's not rush over there. She had Marlena, like, give the baby back. Without those people, she definitely would have gone off the deep end. And Sarah, had Eric shown up at the house in time, he would have been able to talk her off the ledge, but nobody was there.
I just hope Kristen stays grounded because she has such good things coming to her. She gets her daughter back. Brady wants to be a family, but Kristen is about revenge.
She's going to kill Xander. Chelsea, she's going to kill Xander. She's going to hyper focus on revenge.
Well, I'm hoping for this like new Kristen, because like Chelsea said, she seems very like grounded and everything like that. And I also have to say, I kind of dig the new friendship between Marlena and Kristen.
I love it.
Totally. Yeah.
I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it.
It's kind of like all these years of all the stuff that she's done, and there's now these like tender moments between them. I was like, okay. Although Michael Mattis, well, there's always one.
What do you mean you don't like it, Michael?
I said what I said. I don't like it.
He doesn't like Marlena, so it doesn't matter what the storyline is.
It's not natural. It doesn't make sense to me that even though Kristen has turned over this new leaf, that Marlena and John is the one I buy because I feel like John is always like has his eye on Kristen. Like he's being cordial, but in the end, I think he's still like I'm keeping my eye on you. And Marlena is just full on 100% in, and it's not entirely believable to me. That's what I'm struggling with.
I don't think she's 100% in, but I think she feels
I do.
passion. I don't think they're ever going to go to lunch together and go shopping together, but I think
if they do, that's when I'm out.
Yeah. I
think that talk that Brady had with Marlena in the hospital after she woke up from the surgery, saying, just give Kristen a chance. She's really part of my family now. And I think that really spoke to Marlena. And I think that's why she's trying to
Marlena's always
make
been
amends.
like that.
Yeah, it's Marlena.
But I think also their connection, like how Kristen was kind of like fighting for her at Maison Blanche Part 2. And like really like showing like a lot of care for her and being like, Marlena, you don't want to do this and all this kind of stuff. And I think Marlena obviously remembered that. And so I think that's another reason why she decided to bury the hatchet.
I think revenge is a default button for Kristen. Mm-hmm. So as much as she's got the Jesus tools in her toolbox now, I think the revenge, he's gonna just see red for a little while.
The Lord saved her.
The Lord always saves.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of work on this time.
And then that is pretty much it, right? With that storyline. Now we're gonna see how that story unfolds and where Sarah is taking baby Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's move it right along to
well, with Will and Sunny. I mean, or unless that's in the tidbits, it is. So never mind.
So Steve, Kayla, Justin, Sunny, Jack, Jennifer, Doug, and Julie.
Yes.
Well, it's the battle of the lovers.
Fight for your woman.
Yes, Steve remembers. That was such a cute moment when like Kayla and Steve were reciting his vows, and then he remembered, and
that was very well done. Very well done.
It's like love will keep us together. Mm-hmm.
Think of me, babe, whenever.
But Steve is basically like, just so everyone knows, I'm fighting for my wife. And
it was almost just expected of him. Like,
but he was reluctant.
He was just like, what? We're not getting back together.
He was reluctant to do any fighting. Jack was like, hello, as he eats his banana. Are you just gonna roll?
That whole scene, that was disjointed a little bit. Like the whole fruit thing. I was like, I don't know where that came from, but okay.
I started wondering if that was like just
Improv.
Matthew Ashford, like going with it.
Using the props.
Because then later on, he was like, you don't have any candy? And he's like, I was Stefano. No one sent Stefano candy. And I'm like,
that was hysterical.
I'm like, Jack is hungry. Like, somebody please go get him.
Well, it surprised me that it was real fruit. I thought it was plastic fruit.
No. Side note, I told you guys about the time when I used to do background work on days. They had me in the cafe that like the first Chad worked at, and it was real apple pie. I ate that. It was so good.
Oh, how fun.
Did they have to call down from the director's chair, sir, stop eating the pie. We need to do another take.
We only have one pie.
We only have one pie, sir.
No, they did not.
Sir,
do not use this guy again. He's X. He's out of here. That's the apple pie guy.
It was so good. The apple pie was so good, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Okay, so but what the other thing is having to relive all the stuff that's happened the past couple of years, because like Kayla had to kind of jump him up to speed as far as like what happened the past 2 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to relive Adrian's death, and we have to relive when he was Stephen-O, and he tried to kill Kayla, Justin, and John. And like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we keep having to relive all this stuff with the robots. Because they don't know.
It keeps being, you know what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised maybe that Kayla is as reluctant as she is.
Well,
Like
because
she's, I mean, I didn't realize how much she really does love Justin. I was hoping,
I
because
don't,
I
you know
love
what,
them together.
Tammy, I think she's dealing with it the best she can. I feel like it's more she feels obligated to Justin. I don't think her love for Justin is as strong as it is for Steve, and I don't believe
No.
it's love for Justin that's making her reluctant. I think it's Kayla does not want to hurt Justin, and she feels an obligation to,
But the
see
way
it through.
she's treating
Yeah,
Steve
you're right.
isn't saying that. The way she's treating Steve is not saying, I need to let this guy down easy. She's not giving Steve any.
But no, she's not.
any-
No, she's not letting
he's
herself.
got all these
She's feeling.
walls
No,
up.
I'm saying she's feeling the obligation like in her own head.
But why
You know what
does
I
she
mean?
have
She's not
all of these
expressing
walls
it
up?
outward.
When she was talking to Jen, though, she did make a point by saying, I put Steve in this box, and Justin is this future box. And to her, Steve really hurt her, and it took a while for her to put Steve in this certain box. That's the do not touch box category.
yeah.
So just to reopen that back up again, she's dealing with it.
And I think too, it has more. I'm sorry, Tony. I think it has
Right.
more maybe to do with what happened before Steve was kidnapped and turned into Stefano.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact, and he brought that up, the fact that he tried to play hero and was trying to, work for the government and try to fix everything instead of making Kayla his priority.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what she's hurt by.
It also
'Cause-
reminds me of that scene in Sex and the City when like Carrie was like all happy and had moved on from Big, and then Big came out of nowhere and she was like, "You do this to me all the time." It's like
Yeah.
there's a sign where Carrie's happy and then you come in. Like I feel like Kayla is kind of in this situation where all of this stuff happened with Steve, and now she's processing that like it wasn't Steve and it really wasn't him. And again, she put all of that and their feelings in a box. And while she's trying not to disregard their 30 years of love, she has now fully committed to this new relationship that she considers her present and her future. And I like the mano y mano talk that they did, where Justin and Steve were like Steve told his side, and then of course Justin told his side,
Justin. Yeah.
and then Steve is just kind of like, whatever, dude. But I'm like, no, like you have to understand that like life kind of went on, and this isn't like one of those light switch kind of rebound love. Like this is something that progressively happened, and it's really real. And even Sonny reiterated that when Steve called Sonny to talk about Adrian, but Sonny was also like, we don't need to talk about my dad. I need you to know that this is real. This isn't no rebound love. This is real love. They're both happy.
Yeah.
So I think that's the dilemma. Like Kayla doesn't know because her heart currently belongs to Justin. But there's also a part of her heart that always belongs to Steve, and she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So when she says I've made a decision, is Ron faking us out, or do you think she's really come to a decision?
I think she's come to. I think she's going to stay with Justin, but out of obligation. She may not admit that, but that's what I think is.
She might be with Justin for now, but I really think it's
down the line.
Down the line, yeah. Steve isn't going to give up that quickly. I think he'll respect it to a certain extent, but he's still going to.
Or maybe she'll choose neither. Maybe she'll be like, you know what?
That's what I was.
Kayla
thinking.
needs some time with Kayla.
Yeah.
For that too.
But also, I like that Justin feels hopeful because she went home with him that night.
And she baked him a cupcake.
A muffin.
I thought it was creepy
muffin.
that Steve asked if they slept together.
Right.
I was so
going
wrong.
to say that.
Okay,
no, that was so
You're
wrong.
over it.
But I
was like, that just.
I was with Kayla. Kayla was like, you're my ex-husband. You don't need to know about be all up in my business. Like, calm down.
It was so funny when that scene happened and he asked that question to her. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he asked her that question. And Ernie was watching it. He's like, He's a guy. That's the first thing you're gonna wonder is like, did you sleep together? It's like,
I think-
well, fine, you can think of it. Don't say it. That's just awful.
I think my reaction when it came up, I just kind of went, ew. Like, I
Yeah,
wasn't
that was just
outraged, but I think I was just like, ew. Don't ask that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to know that anyways. Like if I was in Steve's
Yeah,
position.
like I would never.
That's
I'm a
just
guy. I wouldn't have asked that. Well,
But also you have to think that, well, you're a different kind of guy. You also have to think that that this is Steve's way to find out how committed she is to him, because Justin knows by the fact that she went home with him. But I feel like if Steve is like, if they didn't make love, then I still have a shot. So I think that was his way of figuring out where he fits into all this. And had she said, yeah, we did it, I think that would have like completely crushed him. But because they didn't, I think he's like, aha. Oh, and he tried to be real smooth with that. My heart hurts. Oh, what is it? Is it going fast? You broke it. I'm like, oh, girl, like you tried it, smooth operator.
Yeah, but I do like how Justin is sticking up for his love with Kayla, because Steven, when they were in the hospital together, Steven's like, everyone knows our love story. He's like, yeah, but let me tell you our love story. I was for it.
And I love that scene with him and Kayla when he says to her, you know, we saved each other, and I want nothing more than to spend the rest of our lives saving each other. I was like, oh, God.
We rescued each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm curious as to what her decision is. I mean, listen, everyone's gonna hate this, but right now I'm still just team Kayla and Justin. Like
I am too. I guess Steve's got to prove himself to a lot of people, including some of us.
I mean, I just feel like, you know, again, I feel like if the show just, as soon as he came back, like they got together, then yeah, it would have made it seem like Justin was a rebound. But like, she really has feelings for him and really cares about him. And I think that, oh, and I love how Justin was like, I found these jazz tickets, and you know, that was like their first kind of date. And Steve was like, she doesn't like jazz. And he's
Kayla
like,
hates jazz.
She does now.
And I was like, yes. I was like, this is the progression of Kayla. Like Kayla is not this woman that's stuck to like certain ways. She's
She can evolve.
She evolved after
Change.
losing Steve. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, this is a new Kayla.
Because it's, you know, it's not the Eric, Nicole scenario.
Yeah.
And Sarah, you know, it's
Or
not
whenever
like
Nicole comes
Eric-
back, Eric just dumps whoever he's with and goes
Exactly.
back to Nicole.
Right.
Exactly.
Good point, Tammy. Yeah, no, this is totally different.
Yeah. All right. Well, next week we'll see, you know, what she decides. So yeah. Now to some sin. We got Ben, Sierra, Evan, Christian, Rafe, Orpheus, Zoe, and then of course John and Malena and Orpheus.
So can I just say off the bat, I love having Kelly Tebow on the landscape. I was a huge fan of hers on General Hospital, and when she left, I was totally bummed.
Yeah.
And she recently returned to GH, and now she's gone again. So I'm hoping, wow, sister of Christian.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see that one coming. I just thought that like, oh, we have a hot new young attorney on the canvas, and then
But there was a weird dynamic.
Friday.
There was a weird dynamic between her and Christian, though.
I didn't notice any kind of weird dynamic until
it
it was
was like no, I was just going to say what
Friday
was
when he until Friday when she was like, that's what sisters do for brother. I was like, oh
no,
Orpheus
like
also makes hot children.
I totally when she intervened between Rob, Ben and Christian.
Yeah.
And she said, you know, back away from my client. And then Christian kind of smiled. I'm like, that's weird. Like, why is he smiling like that?
I thought he was just smiling. I just thought he was smiling because someone got Ben off of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought that was weird. So it made sense that it's like, okay, there's a storyline here. They're related.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually like that little twist, but I love how everyone in Salem can get out of jail. So
I know.
um,
Full
Everybody.
immunity.
yeah,
Like the
so
crimes don't exist.
He
So-
burns 2 women in a coffin. He tries to burn them alive, and everything gets dropped. Like,
but Orpheus said, "Listen, I got something that you need. If you want it, I need full immunity." And they were like,
dang.
"Fine."
And
Here
poor
you go.
Marlena has got PTSD. She's on her couch in sweats. Did you see that hoodie she
But it
had
was
on?
cute though.
It was adorable. I've never seen her in like non-Marlena outfits before.
Right. Well, listen, she's at home. She's like, I'm working from home. I'm gonna keep all my cute little pink little sweats and but so with that and with John telling her that morning about Orpheus and everything like that, and she started having the flashbacks and stuff like that, which kudos to Days for reminding us of what last happened with Orpheus.
Mhm.
But then when she went to answer the door, my first thought was, oh, so you don't have a peephole?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I would have been
Nobody
like,
has peepholes in Salem.
and then when I saw it was Orpheus, I would have said, absolutely not, go away. But of course,
Slam.
of course she opens the door. And for a second I was like, did he leave a package or was he not standing there? But he must have
Yeah, because it was odd.
he must have knocked on the door, ducked around, and then when she opened to look out, he went,
Hey, boo.
Yeah.
going. So yeah, well, that's gonna. This is interesting though that there's now this other little family in
Yeah.
Mhm.
the Maddox. I guess that's their last
The
name.
Maddox Orpheuses.
We got a sister, we got a daddy, and we got a son.
Yep.
Mhm.
New little. I don't mind new families in Salem.
No,
Kinda
I don't
shake it
either.
up a
No,
bit.
I love
Some new blood.
Yeah. And also that was some really good casting with Kelly and Brock because they really look like they could be related.
the light
Mhm.
eyes. Yeah,
Mhm.
they look great.
So kudos to that. And I'm also glad that Brock, Christian
And-
Evan,
Christian.
survived the chokehold that Ben put him in.
Yeah. I was a little surprised that Ben would react that way. He, like Sierra said, I just got out
Well,
of
he
jail.
killed 3
I don't want to
people,
lose
Ben's a
you.
no.
Yeah. It's
Well-
like it's like Ben, calm down.
Can we just acknowledge though that moment when Ben and Sierra are in bed and he goes in to kiss her and she stops him and he's like, "Wait a minute, you've never ever said no to
Never
me."
said no to me.
Listen,
I was
you,
like, "Oh
I don't think any of us would have said
And we-
no.
my God, totally."
Although they came up with a very good alternative where they said, listen, we got to go in 20 minutes and we both got to shower.
See, it's called compromise. That's the winning relationship. You got to compromise.
Listen,
Yeah.
I would have leaped out of that bed real fast and said, come on, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sierra's
God, that
like,
was so good.
you do have a point. Yeah, he has a very
Yes.
good point.
Yeah. But I'm curious as to how, like, what's going to happen with David. Like, I do like the fact that Sierra talks some sense into Rafe
Rafe,
about
yeah.
telling David the truth because she's like, things in Salem tend to come to light, and like he's going to find out either
So
way.
true.
So I liked it.
It's so true. I
Mhm.
feel bad for Rafe.
There was a really cute moment, speaking of that, when Rafe sat him down to tell him. He's like, I got something to tell you. And you can hear the baby go, yeah?
Yeah, or was it okay? Like, okay.
Oh, okay.
It
was
was
like,
so
okay.
cute.
So adorable.
So cute. So yeah, so I'm interested to see how the Maddox family is going to fit in.
Yeah.
The custody battle that's bound to happen with baby David. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Oh, real quick, because it's not in Tidbits. Eli and Lonnie are now back on the force.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
So they took their
happy.
jobs back. And
Yeah.
I like the moment of like Rafe being like, last time you were here, Eli, you were commissioner, but they said we're gonna keep everything as is. And he's like, that's fine. I'd rather be out in the field anyway. I'm like, all right now.
Yep. That'd be me. Like, fine.
Yeah. So, and then he was like, because don't nobody want to deal with all that.
No.
And then insert lawyer. And he was like, there you go.
That's what I mean. Yep.
All right. And that's it with that storyline, right?
I think so.
And
Okay.
I think this is new Sin's story plot too, because I know last week we're trying to think, okay, where are we going to place Ben and Sierra? Maybe they're going to get jobs. I really think with Kelly and her storyline, they're going to be a part of Sin now.
Yeah. And then before we move on to some business, you guys stay tuned because in a couple of minutes, we're going to start our quarantine check and our reunited couple should be joining us in just a few minutes. But
So excited.
we still got more shows. So Tammy Govea, a little church announcement.
A
for
little
all of
church
you.
announcement. Let me
Yeah.
get on the pulpit here. Hello, everybody. As always, we want to thank you, fans, for having us in your living rooms and on your computers and laptops and phones. And thank you for joining us here at AfterBuzz TV. We love doing Dishin Days. We love what we do. We love the show and we love you guys. And thank you for making this show so popular and so thank you for the engagement. We really, really appreciate it. We want you to tell a friend. We want you to share the love with your friends and family. We want to make sure that you hit that like button. If you're in our chat room right now, hit that like button, make a comment, which you guys are because it's on fire right now. Make sure you subscribe to AfterBuzz TV and to our show. And thank you from the bottom of our ever-loving hearts.
And these announcements brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, let's quickly go into some tidbits followed by our segments. All right, so Will and Sunny have an interesting talk. One, I'm glad that he acknowledged the dream that he had.
I laughed out loud. Oh my God, I laughed so hard.
That April Fool's episode. But then I'm glad that this got brought up because before Will went to jail, they had talked about having another baby.
And I had totally forgotten about that.
Yeah, I did too. And so it was interesting that they're bringing this back up to kind of pick things up where they left off. So
Yeah.
Are we rooting for baby number 2 for Will and Sunny?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sure.
why not? Oh, hi,
Like-
Bimby.
Michael Madison's just like, whatever, we're fine.
They're back to being
whatever.
pop-ins. Like, they're just there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, give him another baby. Why not?
So baby number 2 for them in talks. And then we had Hope and Jennifer with a really good conversation. Hope is starting to, of course, remember like all the stuff that she did as Princess Gina, and she's trying to
Poor
make
thing.
amends. Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
I like that there was a mention of her reaching out to Eve and, trying to make amends with Eve and apologize. But of course, Eve is like, I'm suing you. And it's like, girl, it's like, calm down.
Yeah.
I forgot the whole Eve part of that story. I forgot that Eve was like taking the fall for it.
Yeah.
That happened at the time.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she was in jail.
Everybody was in jail when that time jump happened.
Yeah.
But I hope that Hope realizes that she was altered, she was brainwashed, and that she doesn't keep carrying this weight on her.
The guilt, yeah.
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 So, yeah. All right. Well, that was it. That was the week of days. Just to let everyone know, we have 232 people watching us live. Thank you guys.
Holy
Hey,
guacamole.
332 people.
Make sure you guys like the button under this video. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days and _Dishin Days on Twitter. So go find us. All right, now it's time for our segments, which is our favorite part of the show. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Okay, now listen. Y'all know I love me some Sarah Horton. And this week was no exception. My 3 snaps went to a I don't have time for this conversation. I really need to go. You are holding me up, Sarah Horton. When she was in Horton Town Square and she was giving this face like, just move out of my way. I got to go. I was like, yes, come through, Sarah Horton. Yes. And just everything about Sarah this week, I absolutely love. Even her deciding, like, listen, I'm trying to be happy. Let's go, baby. We going on a honeymoon. I was like, Sarah Horton, get your entire life. So Lindsay Godfrey, Sarah Horton, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap. All right, and now it's time for...
You are using an unregistered version of Soundboards. You are using an unregistered version of Soundboards.
Designer days.
All right.
So this week it's going to Missy Reeves. She's worn this trench coat before, and I've made it a designer day spotlight before, and I'm giving it to her again because I want this coat so much. It's a BB trench coat. It's called the Mob, M-A-B, pink flared trench coat. It's sold out on BB, but if you go online, you can actually find it on Poshmark. There are some up for sale. It runs for about $160. You might be able to find it for a little less. But Miss Missy Reeves, Jennifer Horton, you get this week's Designer Days.
All right, and now it's time for...
You are using an unregistered version of Soundboard. You are using an
Caption
unregistered
that.
All right.
All right. This week's Caption That Photo also features Queen Sarah, Lindsay Godfrey, and her encounter with Will and Sunny in the Horton Town Square. And this week's caption goes to @Nuke11, NEWC11 on Twitter with his caption, "Yes, my eyebrows are real. Why? Who's asking?"
That's good.
That's funny.
That was my best Sarah impression because I feel like that's exactly how she would say, "Yes, my eyebrows are real."
Well,
Anyway, that was...
at least it didn't sound like your Brady voice.
"Here's my eyebrows are real. Why?" My Eric voice.
And that has been...
Caption that.
And now it's time for...
Hey, why? It's like, aw.
Oh.
All right. Our moment of the week goes to Justin. I like when he is talking to Steve. No matter what side you're on, you have to respect a man that fights for his woman. And that's what Justin did. He's like, let me tell you and Kayla's my love story. She needed me just as much as I needed her. And after we got done going to the jazz concert, it was a rescue. And our love is made up of little rescues. So... moment of the week goes to Justin.
Love it.
And that has been your
Ooh,
yay. Why? It's like
aww.
And shout out to Me World 2 for his shiz moment of the week. That's right. Who that? Oh, sorry. I will retweet that, and thank you, Me World, for all the work that you put into your shiz moment of the week. And now it's time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz news and gossip. All right, as if having our quintennial event rescheduled wasn't enough, Spectrum Celebrity Events has announced another fun event called Salem Proud, featuring Day stars Chandler Massey, Christopher Sean, Brock Kelly, and Greg Rickard. The meet and greet will take place on Saturday, October 10th, from 10 to 2 p.m. at the Burbank Airport Marriott. That same day, at the same Burbank Marriott, you can stick around for our Dishin Days Quintennial event, rescheduled for the weekend of October 10th and 11th, with the entire original lineup confirmed. That would be Brock Kelly, Eric Martzoff, Kate Manzi, Billy Flynn, Scott Shilstone, Stacey Hayduke, Paul Telfer, and Jen Lilly. They've all confirmed for the new dates.
So great.
Tickets for both events are on sale now at spectrumcelebrityevents.com.
Yay.
Yay! And now we have a video message from Daytime Cares, which is a daytime talent collective co-founded by Days Ariane Zucker, and how they are supporting people who are in need during this coronavirus pandemic.
COVID-19. and won't define us.
Because together, we can join forces and make a difference that counts.
Please go to daytimecares.com for more information on how you can help.
We'll provide information on many charities nationwide that are here to help those in need.
Because there is power in numbers.
We're all in this together.
We will come out on the other side of this.
Let's be there for each other.
Our daytime community is here for you.
Hashtag Daytime Cares.
Daytime Cares.
Daytime Cares.
Shining a spotlight forward.
Now and always.
All right, to find out more or to make a donation, visit daytimecares.com.
Perfect. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we bring on our quarantine guests, we're going to take a look at what's going to happen next week on these fine episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Stefan? David has a father, and I'm suing for custody.
I'm never gonna let anyone take you.
You stole my child.
No! Lord, Kristen done shanked Victor. Oh, that was a shank. She learned that in jail. Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh, Kristen, no.
Oh.
No.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, well, Kristen's back. That didn't take long.
Right?
Oh, I hope that's not what I think it is. I hope not.
Oh.
Maybe it's a dream. Who knows? But I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't.
That is very interesting.
That's
okay.
very interesting.
Well, listen, a lot is going to happen this week, so make sure you tune in because it looked real good. It looked real good, and you can tell by our faces that we are in for it because wasn't nobody expecting the shank.
I didn't know there was a name for it.
Anytime somebody has
Didn't
like
know
a small
shanking?
knife, it's anytime someone has like just a little small knife, I'm like, that's a shank. That's just like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get you. Okay, so as you guys know, we have been doing quarantine check-ins with some of your favorite Days of Our Lives stars. And we're glad to do this because I know that a lot of you guys are just wondering how they are, how are they surviving, how have they been doing, what have they been doing. So we're very happy to bring them on and have you guys just do a little check-in with them. If we don't talk about the show or anything like that, it's not that we're not trying to or want to, it's just because we really just want to keep it to just checking in with them and not really making them feel obligated to like recap the show with us. So let me check to see if our folks are ready. Ryan, we still have one holding, right?
We have one holding for now. Standing by on the second guest.
Okay. All right. I'm wondering if we should just go ahead and bring them in, or should we wait? What do you guys think?
Let's go ahead and bring them in. Like,
Bring it in.
why not?
Okay. All right. And Ryan, let's bring in our first guest, who will be joined later by another guest. And you guys
Here they come.
to figure that out. Oh! Hold on, it's connecting. There she is.
There she is.
There you are.
Hey.
There you
There
are.
you are. We got you.
Hi.
You are talking computer illiterate here. Hold on. Oh, I see everybody.
Yay!
Hi.
How are
Everybody?
Those little pigtails of yours. I can't stand it.
Oh, you look so cute.
Adorbs.
There.
so
How
cute?
are you guys?
We're so good. Well, I mean, this is, you guys don't understand, this has been probably years in the making of having Melissa Reeves on. And every time she saw me, she was like, Tony, I have to do your show. I have to do your show. And I was like, we're going to make it work. How are you doing? How's the family doing?
We are so good. Well, yesterday we found out we knew we were having 2 grandbabies this summer.
Yes.
But yesterday we found out that Larry and Libby are having a boy. So we have 2 boys. July and September.
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic.
We are so excited. We did a Zoom gender reveal.
That is cool. I like that.
I have an English Mastiff right here at my feet.
Oh. What's his name? Her name?
Her name is Zara, which means princess, but we call her Zuzu. But Zuzu and Osa, our other English Mastiff, got skunked 2 nights ago.
Oh my God.
At 8:00 at night. We had to get to Walgreens by 9, and we live far away from everything. And they let us buy 2 bottles of hydrogen peroxide because we each had to go in and buy one separately.
Yeah.
You have to do make sure to smell off their face, and so that's life in the country.
Well, I didn't know what the skunk remedy was. Now I do. It's hydrogen peroxide.
Okay, so a coworker of mine last year.
And dish soap.
And dish soap. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you make that mixture and just rub it all. I mean, they got it right in their face. This little skunk just like spun circles and sprayed and sprayed and sprayed.
Oh no.
It was horrible.
All
It was
right.
so bad.
So I just got word that, of course, we have Missy here, but we can't do this without her counterpart. So we're gonna bring in Mr. Matthew Ashford.
Oh.
Hello.
There he is.
There he is.
Hey, Matthew.
Look, Matt's like me. He's all, what do I do now? We are technologically challenged.
Listen, I think all of us are, because like now that we're home and we're having to figure like all this stuff out.
We're being forced, to figure this stuff out. Totally.
We all have. Like, I have never even heard of Zoom, and now like Zoom has become in my life. So yeah.
I remember Zoom like, good morning, Zoom, 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 Zoom. See, you guys are too young for that. We're gonna Zoom, Zoom.
Come on, give us a try.
Oh, Tammy knows it.
Let me make sure. Let's make sure, Matthew, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, there he is.
Hey,
Yay.
Matthew.
Matthew, how are you holding up during this whole quarantine, pandemic, coronavirus thing?
Let me show you how I'm holding up. Okay, watch this.
Oh,
ooh.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
That is
Is that Burbank?
Is this LA?
It's beautiful downtown Burbank. Beautiful downtown Burbank, baby. Beautiful downtown Burbank.
That is gorgeous.
This is my son's mandala.
Oh, wow.
How pretty.
Love that.
Right now they're inside eating dinner, I think. We're trying to feed them. We're just doing what we're doing. It's freezing cold up here. Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. But I hear you. They want some more. They want some more. You want some more? The food is good. Okay, that's a good thing. I'm gonna feed them right now.
Oh my God, I love this.
That's always a good sign.
Hungry children is a good sign.
Right.
Hi.
Who's that?
That beautiful thing.
Hi.
Guys.
Oh my God, they're so adorable.
I'm talking to Missy. She can. I've got the sound on here, but right now, but they just said hello. They're just staring. This is all new to them.
Yeah.
I want to look, Matt. Here's Zuzu.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Willa, do you want some more? Did you say? Are you going to show me? Are you going to show me the puppy?
Yes, if I can get her to stand up.
Wait a minute. She's going to show us the puppy. Wait.
Hold on. I'm going to try to pick her up. She's like 150, but hold on.
Oh my goodness. That's the puppy.
What's the puppy?
That's more than Missy.
Look how cute.
Oh my God.
Where
Oh
there's a
my
wait.
living word.
Okay, there we go.
She's
That was the
giant.
puppy.
This
That-
was the puppy. This is Zuzu.
The expression on their faces are like, that's
my
puppy.
That was a puppy. Was that? Did we see Zuzu's petals?
Zuzu.
Okay,
Oh.
guys, you guys. Okay, you got two. Okay,
She's gonna be bigger than Osa.
I love this part of the quarantine life because we get to see how you guys are like really dealing with it. And
It's real world days of our lives.
Yeah, I always
Makeup. Where's hair and makeup?
I always feel for the parents now because the parents like literally have to be on 24/7 now. So like
yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. It's really funny. Missy and we talked about this years ago, but the shows have so much challenge coming up with conflict. But there's so much conflict in raising children. And raising children to the best of your ability next to the people who you love.
Yeah.
And I said, what would they have done if they had for 1 minute put Bo and Hope and Jack and Jennifer next to each other trying to raise their children? Can you imagine what best practices? What does best practices mean? You know, I mean, I love you, cuz. Love you, but I mean, but what about what you just happened between our little cousins? You know, it's crazy. It's wonderful stuff. It's really, really, really good stuff. And you know, we experience it all the time because it's just life, and always happens between the people you love.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my God.
Which is what ultimately that's what Days of Our Lives is about. It's the stuff that happens between the people you love. That is the hardest.
Family conflict.
So, yeah. They just go into somehow they start having devil, you know, you're possessed and everything like that. And you go like, wait a minute, my aunt wasn't possessed when she did that. Wait a minute, my sister, my brother, you know.
It's a lot to keep up with, and especially nowadays because there's so many alter egos that were happening that we were like, okay, wait, who's who now?
Well, you know what? If you talk to your mom or your dad and you say, you know what, my brother did this and this and this and this, they say, well, no, that was his alter ego. Don't you know? That wasn't really him.
We always joke about in the Horton house, like this character of Tommy just disappeared. So we always think Tommy lives in the attic. So anytime there's a noise on set, we're like, it's Tommy in the attic. Because they said the character named Tommy went up to the attic and he never came down. Right?
Well, listen,
His contract must have been
the attic has special powers because kids on soap operas will go upstairs to the attic and then they come down and they're full-on adults.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that happens. Something's happening. You know, Flowers in the Attic. There was a book from the late '60s, early '70s.
Yeah.
We just watched that's so funny. My husband and I just watched that last night. We watched that and then the second one, and it creeped us out. I was like, we watch a lot of Lifetime, and this is Lifetime times 1,000. Yeah. Creep.
Right? It was a book, but it was, you know, I don't even know what Lifetime did with it. But you know what? We heard this story from Francis. It's Francis who told us, Francis Reed, who told us about Tommy and about all that stuff, because all this stuff happened so long ago, but they still know. They still know about that stuff.
Yeah.
And you could ask a lot longtime fans, and you said, well, ask them about Tommy. You know, it's almost like, you know, way before all that, you know, there's all those weird serial killer, the guy with a mask shows up.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened to Tom? Where was Tom? You know, I mean, but I always thought, wouldn't it be fun if we were able to kind of just in the Horton house, of course, playfully just imagine the various characters around they're not around anymore, but we imagine they are around because in our lives they're around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Horton balls are about. That's what the chairs are about. The furniture. Yeah, it's about investment.
All original.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. If you looked at the back of the furniture, you'd see it was original. Yes.
And then under the couch, the Horton house, under the cushions, if you pick the cushions up, you will see like so many script pages like crammed in there. Yell action, you quick pull up the cushion and shove your script under it.
Oh my God.
Everybody's scripts are under the cushion.
Nice, funny.
That is such a great piece of tidbit.
Yeah. But even more than that, Missy, even more than that is the planks of wood.
Yes.
What's that?
Like the sets are, all the blank wood on the back of the sets. People will write the name, the year.
Yeah. But Missy, I was thinking about the wood that we found under the Horton couch.
Oh, I'm ready. I need the piece of wood. Sweet for when she got older. Okay, so because this couch is so old, she would sit down and she would sink like into the couch because it's so old.
Yeah.
So they'd come in with this big piece of wood,
right?
And they'd take the cushions off and they'd put the wood down and then put the cushion back. So when she sat down, she could sit up better.
Yeah.
So Pat and I were like, we need the wood.
Well, now are you ready for the wood? Yeah. I mean, Mac and Francis, it's like sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. It's all about and he rises and crosses left to the such and such to the armoire or whatever. It says not so fast.
Yeah.
Wait, cut to a commercial while he stands up.
We're right on the corner. We're right there.
Missy, how is your roasting company doing during this?
Doing great. In fact, I'm in our roastery right now.
I noticed.
Roaster, and tonight we'll pack and ship all of our orders. So we'll be lighting this up, and I'll put on a movie. Because my department is packing and shipping, so I stand over here and I measure it out, weigh it out, wrap it up, box it, tape it, print out the addresses.
Oh my
It's
God.
Revival Coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Revival Roast Company. Yeah. So this is one of our mugs. We have a bunch of mugs, but it's been great. I mean, we never thought we would be small business owners, and living just so far out in the country, to go to town is 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
So my husband was going to town every day to get coffee, and I was like, honey, this is crazy. Like, he's such a coffee snob. And I said, you make your own coffee or roast your own coffee, and it's like beyond what we expected.
So it's your idea, Missy? So it's your idea?
It was my idea, but he, we'd go get coffee somewhere and he'd go, oh, it's terrible. I'm like, I paid $4 for that. But then he roasts it so good, and it's been just so fun. But it's like a chemist. It's numbers and adding and subtracting while you hear the first crack of the bean, and then I had no idea what it involved. But it's
so cool.
Missy, what's the website? People in our chat room are asking how they can order.
Oh, it's on revivalroastingco.com.
Okay.
I'm gonna check that out. I love coffee. When did you go into business?
First of all, you look so pretty, and your lighting is so good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
For light, whatever that is.
Yes.
The
beauty light.
Yes.
All lit up so good. We've been in business for about a year, and we just do it by ourselves up here in the roastery. Actually, I can show you guys. This is super fun.
Yeah, I want to see this.
So here is where excuse me. This is where I pack and ship.
Wow.
And my hubby roasts right there.
Wow.
There's Zuzu. She's not usually in here. Where I watch a movie. And then we have this little garage door that you can open up and go outside.
Oh wow,
That's
And
so
you
great.
can come visit and stay in the Airstream if you want.
that's
Oh my-
amazing.
We'll have to come over and get coffee. I
It's
love
like
that.
camping.
Yeah,
It's like camping up here on the mountain.
you guys are living like your best quarantine life. Like, I mean, that if you're gonna do quarantine, like where you guys are,
They've got coffee 24/7.
yeah, that's how you.
It doesn't get much
See my-
better than that.
Want to see my little she shed that my husband built me?
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I can keep a signal.
Oh,
Look at that.
That is
so
so
cute.
cool.
Is
that the tough
cutest?
shed?
That's my she shed. I sew in there.
She shed? It's so
You could come sit on the porch
cute.
if you want.
I love it with
Look
the
at the
rocking
rocking
chairs.
chairs.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
That is so sweet.
We're sort of always a little bit quarantined up here,
yeah. I love it.
but we love when visitors come. We love visitors. So
You both, Missy and Matt, have like the perfect like getaways. Like if you need to get out of LA, like
Yeah.
those are the places to go.
if you guys could get out of there right now, you could all come stay with us. I'm telling you, it's fun.
Listen,
we'll take it.
4 people on your doorstep tomorrow morning.
We like
With
coffee.
empty coffee mugs.
You know, where's
Yes.
Well, listen, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know that you guys are busy, even
We're
during this
feeding
quarantine.
children. We're on quarantine.
But we,
Missy, can I just ask how are your kids?
Oh, Matt, we just found out yesterday that Larry and Livy are having a boy. How crazy is that? 2 little
Congratulations to them.
coming.
Wow.
So I've been sewing every day. So I've made like 4 quilts for Emily. So now I'm like, okay, it's got to be even. You know, I got to make 4 quilts for Livy now. So it's been super fun. I know. So I'm excited for babies.
oh my God.
Yes, congratulations.
Cannot wait.
So
Thanks
good.
so much.
You are going to spoil those little babies rotten.
I know.
But
know.
no
I told
coffee.
you, get ready.
No coffee. They
one
don't need
time,
it.
it's even, you know, both ways even. So
Yeah. Oh my God. And then they're going to be so close in age. That's going to be
I
so
know.
nice.
And you know what? They didn't even plan it. They didn't even know that they were both going to get at the same time. It was total surprise.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're sending all of our well wishes to the kids and the babies.
Thank you.
And congratulations on that. That's exciting.
It is so fun. But listen, I just feel for all you guys in LA. I know like we're having fun up here and it's so great, but I know you guys in LA, it has been, there you go. It has been really, really hard. And we just pray for you guys. You know, we have so many friends in LA. Our whole family's in LA, and we know just how, you know, locked in they feel. So just, we love you guys, and we're just praying for you all, and just hope it just all just passes quickly, and we're all together again.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're sending our thoughts and prayers to you all too, and you know, continue staying safe and staying healthy. And and we really appreciate you guys popping in because the fans like to see that you guys are doing well. Like,
We want to know. We hope they're doing well too.
Yes. In the chat, they are all very excited that you guys.
Oh yay!
So,
Well, hi everybody, and I can come back next Sunday too.
Well, we will for sure do another check-in to make sure that you guys are doing well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Love you all.
Love you all too.
Hi guys, thank you so
Take care of
much.
yourselves,
guys.
please.
You guys take care too.
See you.
Bye, you
Bye,
guys.
Matthew.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Matthew.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye bye.
Missy.
Good to see you, Missy. I
Bye.
love you.
Good to
Take care.
see you guys.
Love
See
you,
you in LA.
babies. Yes. See you in LA. Yes, indeed.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.
I don't know how to turn it off, so I'm just gonna stay on until you turn it off.
Well, you have to hit leave meeting. So,
It's not one in the house.
Well,
He did the
we're
whole
gonna.
thing
Oh,
for
because
me.
you're not leaving yet. They're not done, Missy. Please get off the American stage. Yeah, leave the meeting, please. Okay, we'll figure it out. We need a stage manager.
Yeah.
Leave meeting.
I'm looking. Uh-oh.
Oh my God, so funny.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so we push leave meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Matt left. Okay.
Matt left. Okay.
Hold on.
He's so cute. Look at that.
Got it.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, they're so delicious. I understand it.
Love that.
Sweet.
They are so adorable. Like,
Oh my God.
how can you not like love the two of them? Like, and I see like why they work so well together because they're so good. They're just really great, nice, genuine people. So
yeah.
And those where they're being quarantined in, like, hello, like
Right?
those are some that's nice.
I want some
Is
coffee now.
Missy in
Take Missy up on
Texas?
her offer.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's in Texas, right?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know where Matthew was.
Well,
Downtown Burbank.
we have our final quarantine guest coming in, and he is what I hinted as the storyteller. So Ryan, if you want to go ahead and let our guest in, we can do the reveal. There he is.
Oh, there he
The
is.
man himself. Hey, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
Ron,
Hey guys,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing great. How are you holding up during this whole quarantine thing?
Surviving.
Yeah, yeah. How have you been keeping busy?
Well, I have cooked more in the past month than I have in probably 20 years.
Yep.
Like I honestly did not know how to cook. Like we order in every single night.
Yeah, that was.
And now suddenly I'm a chef.
Yeah, that was my life too. Like pre-quarantine life, like I was always just eating out, and now I'm being forced to cook, and I'm like, Mom, what's that recipe for this?
Yeah.
How do you make this? And is this supposed to look like this? Like, so that's been my journey.
Are you like, do you turn the phone over? You're like, does this look okay? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how my husband actually talks to his mom via Facebook in the Philippines. And so he'll be cooking and he'll have her on the Facebook chat on his phone, and he'll do that. He'll be talking to her in Tagalog. He's like,
so
I'm
cool.
asking her if it looks all right, if it looks right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I asked my
place,
mother for her like sauce and meatball recipe, and
that sounds good.
so I made that a
You'll
couple
have to
weeks
share
ago.
a recipe. Share a recipe. Tweet it. Share a recipe with us.
I will. Most of mine come from the New York Times cooking app.
Okay.
I find a lot of good ones on there. But I did make my mother's meatballs and sauce, and I have to say, not bad.
Oh,
Not
good.
Not bad.
See, you can do it. I've had some hiccups, but I'm still alive, and nothing came back up, so we're good. We are doing A-okay.
Our first failure was actually Jell-O, believe it or not.
Jell-O?
Because we were like, oh, we're gonna make this fancier, so we put like blackberries or blueberries in it or something, and whatever it did, because you added the fruit, like it didn't set. So it was like, the easiest thing in the world to make, Jell-O, failed.
Yeah. I mean, I would have expected like something bigger, like shrimp scampi or something like that, like something off the wall, but Jell-O.
No, our biggest, like the more complicated things have come out okay so far.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. We have to tell you, since like this is our first time chatting with you and on our show, we have thoroughly enjoyed the show. Like, you guys are doing such an amazing job. And we're very happy that you guys shoot very far in advance, because we are continuing to watch.
Yeah.
Wow, how crazy is that? We're going to be like the only show on TV that has new episodes of television.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
I was just talking to my friend James Lott Jr., and he was saying that I think
I'm drinking. Don't mind.
Oh, it's fine. It's always
Cheers.
time for a cocktail. Cheers. And me in my Brady mug.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I think is it Young and the Restless or Bold and the Beautiful or both? Someone's gonna run out of episodes in May. And then
I feel like all three of them are.
Yeah, I think.
Well, you
I
know,
think-
at least for General Hospital, they're taking new episodes, but inserting a lot of flashbacks into a new episode to draw it out. So
that's what I heard. Yeah.
And I know the Young and the Restless is showing classic episodes on Fridays that are always interrupted when I try to watch them. But
that's the worst thing. It's like, this is such a great time for soaps that people are home and can watch.
Yep.
And then half the episode is interrupted.
Yeah, I've been watching it on
by
demand.
someone talking that we don't want to hear from.
Well, that too. But I've just been watching on demand. Like, I'll just wait for them to post it there, or the NBC app. Actually, someone messaged us and was like, "Where can we see the episodes?" And I'm like,
NBC. You tweet it like every week.
Yeah. So don't miss out, because there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
So we're going to be thoroughly entertained. Ron, what else have you been up to besides becoming the next amazing chef?
Besides being a chef, I wallpapered to a closet and a kitchen.
Nice.
Not the whole room, but we had some my boyfriend David had saved this wallpaper that his parents had for like 40 years.
That's so cool.
So we had like a couple rolls of it, and we're like, we're gonna find some place to put it. So like, I can't show you because it's it's like in this little cottage over here.
Yeah.
But it goes just around the kitchen window, and we did that. And it started off, it's like, I made the first cut and I'm like, it fit perfectly, and I'm like measuring and everything, and I'm like, oh, I'm really good at this. I'm like, this is gonna take like an hour. 10 hours later.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Oh, see, I'm still a pointer sister. Like, luckily my roommates are here, so if something needs to go up or painted or something like that, I just kind of point where things should go. Like this picture back here, I didn't put that up. My roommate did. I bought it. I'm great at buying things, but I'm great at buying things and put them in the room, and then
so you're also great at being bossy too, is what you're saying.
The delegator.
Ladies under. The delegator. Yeah. Delegating.
I think that's a more delegate word.
Delegating.
It's not being bossy. It's just delegating. That's it.
I mean, have you guys been affected by this at all besides being quarantined at home?
Yeah. Well, I'm fun employed, but luckily my mom taught me to save money. So
right.
That's about
I'm luckily I was able to, like, my job is still going. I'm just working from home. So I think that's what has actually saved me from going crazy, because I'm at home all the time, but I'm occupied. My brain's not just, if I wasn't working, like, for these people that have to stay in and can't work, I feel for them, because they have to be going stir crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm in a fortunate spot. I've used this time, like, literally yesterday, I cleaned out the entire kitchen, like all the cupboards, like threw out old pots and pans and Tupperware. Oh my God. All the mismatched Tupperware. There's like 2 garbage bags of mismatched Tupperware that I threw out. So it's been a cleansing time.
Yes, I've done a lot of organizing.
Yeah.
I just been furloughed, but other than that, I've been writing a lot. So that's what I've been doing in my meantime, and cleaning, trying to get my spring cleaning done.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's house is gonna be so neat and organized by the end of it.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know where everything is now.
But you just organize it.
I know, but it's not where it used to be.
Oh,
right. It's a whole new.
It's not in a random spot on a random table anymore. It's actually in a cupboard.
I think
that's what happens here. We clean and then we can't find anything because it's not just sitting out anymore.
I think that's the one thing about this, is that, like, I think this has given people time to get a lot of projects done that maybe they didn't have time for in the beginning. Like a lot of my friends, like their backyards and houses look really good because they've taken the time to paint.
Home Depot is really busy right now.
Oh yeah, I bet so, because a lot of the things that you want to do, you just don't have time for. But now you
Yeah.
make time for it, because what are we doing?
Yeah, we
I'll say-
stopped
yeah.
writing about. I think it's been 2 full weeks that I haven't written. So at first we were So we wrote. We kept writing.
Yeah.
And at first I thought we would just keep writing because we're gonna have to write them eventually.
Yeah.
But then with the studio shut down and everything, they decided that they should probably put the brakes on the writing too.
Yeah.
For the moment. So we stopped, but so the last thing, we wrote New Year's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've written New Year's. So right up to New Year's, I think it was the end of New Year's Eve that we stopped.
That's awesome.
So
We love the New Year's Eve episodes.
I know. I'm like, who's coming back this year on New Year's?
I know.
But I know you can't. I know you can't. Yeah.
I know. We were like, wait a minute. We didn't necessarily have somebody to walk in the door. We're like, wait a minute. We've done it 3 years in a row. What do we?
But listen, you have us all looking at that door like this. Who's walking in? No, and we've really enjoyed the whole time jump. Just made the show completely different. So a lot of people who have asked me what's happening on days now. I'm like, just start at November 8th and work your way over, because everything that you thought was they took everything, shook it, and then it's a whole new thing. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun to write, actually.
Yeah.
Was that something you had to convince people?
Yes, but I will say they were pretty game. I don't know if you'd I said in some interview, I pitched it before. I pitched it at General Hospital. I think I pitched at One Life to Live, and they said no. Mostly the note was the audience is gonna feel like they missed something, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I want to do it. So then I pitched it, and we were gonna do it when Marlena got shot. Marlena was in the coma.
Oh yeah.
And so, and then story-wise, it just kind of wasn't working. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do it. So, and then all of a sudden, a year later, we were like, wait, now we could do it. So we did it with Jennifer. And the challenge was really when you're writing, sometimes you can some characters don't have a story and you can kind of wing it for a while. With this, you had to really know in advance what happened to every single person, because you couldn't write unless you knew. So we had to sit down and figure out, okay, who's where. And we wanted enough fun, crazy things to have changed so that it was worth doing. So one day we're like, okay, Kristen's in a convent, and then it kind of went from there.
But I feel like how you guys did it. I thought it was great. I liked, kind of experiencing what happened, with the start of Jennifer, and then kind of seeing where everyone has landed, and then having to go back and kind of tell their stories. So
I really liked the suspicion's not the right word, but how you created this the word's not coming to me. It's not suspicion, but all of this interest in okay, we now, once it was established where everybody was after the jump, okay, how did they get there? And I liked the slow trickle of everything. And you saved the biggest one, kind of not save the best for last, but we talked for weeks about okay, what happened, what this accident, Adrian died, the babies and everything, how it came about. And then we got an entire week of a play-by-play, and it was,
worth the wait.
Very well done. Very well done.
Together
Very
the
enjoyable
puzzles
watch.
pieces.
Really good. that was cool too, because I wanted to do something where you were really living in that whole week, where we barely really cut to the present, so that because so much happened, we're like, okay, what if we just do a whole week that happened in the past?
Yeah. No, it was great. I think at one point during one of our shows, we pulled out a pretend diagram to figure out how the car crash happened. Like, okay, so Adrian and Sarah were coming this way, and then Maggie was this way, and then Will was slightly behind. And so then the car, like, it literally, we were literally trying to like diagram
Like
it out.
CSI, the whole thing, like forensics, and yeah.
Totally.
We had to do the same thing. We like drew it on a board. Because the producer was like, you have to explain to me how did this happen. So we are like drawing the cars, like I'm like, I'm sure we can make this make sense.
Yeah. No, but it's been so good and so interesting. Just like even the pairings of the characters and like all the robots that we call them robots. But it's been great. It's like it really kind of pumped more life into the show. So we've had a great time just like talking about it and recapping it and dissecting it. And yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm looking over at the comments and everyone,
Yeah.
hey, they're very happy that you're here. Someone, what did someone say? Someone has said, oh, no. Someone asked if they're getting more shirtless Will scenes.
Who was that?
We all, listen, I'm all for the shirtless scenes. I love a good towel drop. Those are my favorite. And then, no, well, someone else said something, but I told Ron when he came over that I would not pitch myself as Maxine's son anymore.
Well, you just did.
I only did it because that's what someone said in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
So my one and only pitch was at the Emmys, and I think I succeeded. So,
it's gonna happen.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, there you go.
You say that, and the fans are gonna run with it.
So Ron, I wanted to say really quick. A coworker of my husband's, they were going back and forth, and she says, because she's a General Hospital fan, and she said, I just wanted to let you know that I might start watching Days of Our Lives and see if I can make sense of everything. I'll start watching it today. And then she emailed back, she's like, oh my God, everyone looks so great on Duel. Older, of course, LOL. It's amazing they are still going on. Everything is still going on. Kate and Maggie, oh my God. And Victor, oh my God. But looking forward to catching up with it. It's better than watching the news 24/7. Gives me a little break from reality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And that's something, the break from reality is something like it's needed right now more than ever.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's great that we have your show, and it's.
Did you guys see
still
that
going.
Jimmy Fallon thing?
Yes, I was just gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I was
Two
gonna
of
ask
them.
you.
And then there was the one this week where they did all the slaps.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was great.
I have thoroughly enjoyed them because all of them are super hilarious, and it's like they're in on the joke, obviously.
Yeah.
And I like that you guys are enjoying them as well. Like I've seen Victoria say something about it. Ron, you tweeted them out. Like, how is it like seeing the parody of Days done by Jimmy Fallon?
I mean, it's pretty amazing. It was like Jimmy Fallon, Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell. Then last week they had Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
The doctor.
Who
he was kind of
reminded-
like
Dr. Rolf.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is very Dr. Rolf with the accent and like the playing of babies and switching them. I was like, someone's really paying attention.
Someone's watching. Yeah, someone over there is watching. Yeah.
It reminded me of like that short time. I don't know if he still is or not, but when William Shatner was watching Days.
Oh yeah.
He kept like tweeting about it. He was so intrigued with what was happening. I was like,
he was going back with Billy Flynn and Rob Wilson, I think.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what's going on?
I was like, we need to have somebody from Days go on Jimmy Fallon and join in.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Okay, so here's our mission because fans are really great about this. So you guys who are watching us live and who may be watching us later, if you want to see some of the Days stars participate in the longest days of our lives on Jimmy Fallon, tweet out to Jimmy Fallon, tweet out who you want, and then hopefully they'll make that happen.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah. My mom is also now a huge fan of Days, even though I've been watching Days for a plethora of decades. she has now hopped on the bandwagon. She now calls me and says, "Did you watch today? Because it is getting good."
My dad calls me like, not every day, but many days after, right when the show ends, my father calls me. And like, so I'll see the film, you know, it'll be like, he gets it at 1 o'clock. So 2 o'clock, my phone rings. I'll answer and he's like, why are you torturing Sarah? And then he'll say to me, he's like, is Sarah going to be okay? Don't tell me.
The best thing ever.
Oh my God. I love when parents get involved because it's like they want to know, but then they don't want to know. Like,
Yeah. No, it's very funny. My father asks me, he'll be like, he's like, he's like, is Kristen gonna get that big? Wait, don't tell me. No, he said the same about it was I think at the beginning of the time jump, he's like, are Sonny and Will gonna get back together? And he's like, don't tell me.
It's like a question, but then it's like, no, wait, I just want to watch.
Yeah. Although he's like he's constantly like reading like spoiler sites and stuff. So like he'll call me up and he'll be like, so is it true that so and so is leaving the show? I'm like, Dad, stop reading that.
See, we strayed away from all that because I still like to be surprised. Like I like to wait for the New Year's Eve drop when like someone's gonna come walking in. Like no one ruined that moment for me because they're either gonna come in a fancy outfit or a cape or like some big reveal or like a mask gets snatched off. Like I'm here for all that. So I stay away from all spoiler sites.
Michael, is that your dog?
That is my dog.
Bimby.
So Bimby.
Hey, hi. He just got back from his walk.
Oh, he's so cute.
Hey, come here. Come see Dada. He says no.
He's
I'm
like,
happy over here.
He's like, I'm so
I'm fine.
tired.
I'm cool. Yeah. Say hi to Ron. And there's Tammy. You know Tammy. And Chelsea and Tony.
He literally still has that look of like, why are you still here? Like at some point, aren't you supposed to leave?
Oh my gosh, we interrupt his schedule has been, during the day when my husband and I are both at work, he stays home and chills. And now like my husband and I in the middle of the day, we need to, do something. So we take him for a walk and we literally have to like, Bimby, come on, let's go. And he's like, wakes up all disheveled and he's like, oh, okay, let's go. Yeah, his routine's been.
Wait, you guys are normally like together in a studio?
Yeah, normally, but now we're doing it from home. So one day we'll be back live.
It's great that they AfterBuzz found a way pretty quickly. Like it didn't really take them long to figure out a method of still being able to do the shows just remotely.
Yeah, I think we took that first week off. And then
to figure things out.
And then that second week we were back on, but so many fans have been just thankful that they have this show to tune into so that keeps your mind off of everything that's happening. So
we've got 234 live in the chat room right now.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
Like, why aren't you asking him about this? Why aren't you asking him about that?
Pretty much.
That's what they're doing. Like there've been some questions coming in and I'm seeing them, but like I'm being very cautious as far as like,
I'm sure you'll see him on Twitter later though,
Yeah.
People on Twitter aren't shy.
Did you see the promo for the coming week?
We did,
yeah.
We did. First of all, if you go back, you'll see all of our facial expressions, but like we were literally like everything is about to go down, and then when Kristen shanked Victor, I was just like, So
that was a shock.
Michael and I were like, maybe it's a dream. Hoping it's a dream.
Well, with Kristen, you don't. What's great about it is with Kristen, you don't know because Kristen absolutely has the capability to shank Victor or anybody.
And besides,
but she's taking on this, but she's trying to take on this new leaf. But I feel like it, with Kristen, that can't last forever. The whole new Kristen. So
well, you kind of feel like if anything was going to make like old Kristen return, it was going to be that.
It was definitely her baby would do it.
Because we already kind of saw that when she didn't want to give somebody else's baby back to the nurse. We got very concerned. We were like, girl, I don't know if this program is for you. You can't hold on to the babies for longer.
Ron,
And-
can we just thank you for bringing Greg Rickhart on the show?
Oh yes, we love
Because
Leo.
There's been a lot of
that
Leo chat in the chat
Really?
room too.
Oh my God. The scenes with him and Paul Telfer were everything. Really fun.
It was so fun. I mean, we just kind of
Really
wrote it.
fun.
I had no idea. I mean, first of all, Greg was so funny.
Yeah.
And I just didn't realize that people would like take to that character so fast. Like people loved him.
Yeah. And those like
it's great that you got to bring him back for the April Fools. The April Fools episode was brilliant, by the way. So well, so funny. The way everything, you were like, wait, what's happening? They're doing this. There's this baby. And then it
was
all
like,
in.
like Ryan Kwan and I worked on that together, and he wrote the outline. And it was we kind of like amazed ourselves that we were able to like make up these ridiculous storylines, but somehow they like dovetailed together at the end.
Yeah.
But I do have a story idea for Leo, but we'll have to see.
Oh.
Here for it.
Anything
definitely.
We totally thought that the whole Xander Leo innuendo thing was going to happen. Like we were all for that pairing. We were like, this is perfect because they both want to be like involved in Titan, and like Leo is
Because
basically
Xander will do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I was a little disappointed in myself that I had them not actually sleep together, because I kind of felt like Xander would probably do it.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, we were like he's thinking about it. Like he hasn't like said no, like strong no. Like he's kind of like, this is something, and we were all like, just do it. It's fine.
And he was drinking a lot of champagne as he was thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought was that he should do it because he's like mercenary and he'll do anything for the right price, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then we knew that that was the very beginning of like this love story with Sarah.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know why I thought like in some weird way it would kind of spoil it a little bit if he like, so in retrospect, maybe he should have done it.
Well, that was that. Yeah. The character of Leo was like, I was living all of his like sachets that he did with a glass of martini as he exited the room. I was like, yeah, this is
right. I mean, we wrote him pretty outrageous, like pretty flamboyant, but I did not know that Greg would like totally sink his teeth.
Run with it.
Run with it. Exactly.
He tweeted something while that storyline was going on, and he made a comment and was like, Ron pretty much wrote my real personality, or he made a comment like, you didn't have to work too hard, but yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It was great though.
Well, Ron, we don't want to take up all of your time. I know that you have a show to attend in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I have this. I know you guys ever heard, Michael Urie from Ugly Betty,
Yeah.
So he was in this one-man play a couple years ago called Buyer and Seller. That he was going to revive for like one night. It was like a couple weeks ago, and I had tickets, but of course that was canceled. So he's doing it on YouTube tonight, like from his apartment, like kind of and it starts at 8:00. So I'm like been dying to watch it. So I'm gonna run over to my television now.
Well, Ron, you go do that, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Of course, but have fun and enjoy the show.
Thanks.
Stay
Have me
safe.
back so we can talk about other plot developments.
Yes, we'll have you back for sure.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, Ron.
Bye.
Thank you.
How do I do this?
That's been everyone's question.
Yeah.
Yay! How about
Wow. Oh my God.
y'all? I'm like,
I cannot even.
Okay,
I'm
Ron
so
seems like the kind of person you can take out for a drink and then accidentally end up staying
In the
out like till 2
story.
a.m. just talking to.
No,
Yeah,
but then
listening to
it'll
his
end up in a
stories.
storyline.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I mean,
It
that's
will
the
end
risk
up
you
in a
take when you're talking to
storyline.
any writer. But he's just so personable and so like
he is.
Down to earth.
He was like that at Day of Days though, so I don't know why I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's super nice, and like he's very familiar with us and the show, and I'm very thankful that he decided to come on. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But like now I feel like we totally need to have like a Kiki just about like everything that has happened and like, you know, his thoughts on it. And because it was interesting.
Take a deep dive.
Yeah, it was interesting to know that, because we were rooting for Paul and Leo too, and now it's interesting to know that he wished that would have happened. I love it. Okay,
And
fine.
Bimby
Bimby.
And he's on Bimby too.
Bimby agrees.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I wanted them to bang too. Oh, well.
You don't have to be so crass.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our wonderful show. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed our quarantine check-in segment. But before we head out, Michael Mattis, let the fans know where they can find you.
You can find me and you can find Bimby on, oh Jesus, on my Instagram, ML Mattis, or Instagram or Twitter, ML Mattis. Bye, Bimby.
Chelsea Overrocker.
And you can find me on Instagram at Chelsea Overrocker and on Twitter at Chels Overrocker.
And Tammy Govea.
You can find me on Twitter at Tammy Govea and on Insta at Tammy.Govea.
And of course, you guys can find all of us on Facebook and you can find all of us on Facebook and Instagram, Dishin Days or _Dishin Days on the Twitter. And of course, you can find little me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com.
And more, please.
And oh my God, and my podcast, More Please, and my Instagram show, Tell Me More with me.
You have amazing guests, so bravo.
Thank you so much. I've had Martha Madison came on, Camila Banas came on, Brady and Alyssa came on, and a bunch of other people.
Did you do Abby Lee Miller?
I did do Abby Lee Miller.
I thought so. I meant to watch that.
Yeah, she's one of the first.
Into my mind.
Tomorrow, I'm super excited because have you guys been watching Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist?
No.
Okay, well then we'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
All right. For tuning in, and we'll see you next week for another full recap of your favorite NBC soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.